Hi, Brittany.
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. Can't complain too much.
That's really nice. Where are you at the moment?
I'm at home in Tennessee, so in the United States.
Very nice, very nice. So, for the people who do not know Brittany yet, Brittany is a dear friend whom I met because she wrote me on social media. Because she is the deputy editor for Royal Central, a royal blog which now has become really incredibly popular around the world, who follows all monarchies. So they are not focused on one. And other than that, obviously, Brittany is also an incredibly inspiring woman and superwoman because she is also a lawyer and everything else. But you don't want to hear that from me. We all want to hear that from you, Brittany. So tell us a bit about who is Brittany.
Well, like you said, I'm the deputy editor at Royal Central. So, I've been there. I've been the deputy editor since, I guess, for a year now. Before that, I was Europe editor, and that was when I first contacted you for an interview. Um, and before that, I was just a regular Europe correspondent. And besides that, I work in a law office as a paralegal. We'd actually do a lot of bankruptcy work, which right now, sadly, with everything going on with COVID-19, there's a lot of people calling in with that.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
But, we're trying to help them as best we can. So we've been really busy with that. Besides that, I live here in Tennessee with my lovely little kitty and my dog. And I live next door to my brother, who is my basically my hero. Because whenever I need something, I call him, and he's over here. So
Oh,
everybody needs a big brother that does that. But yeah, I just finished up some schooling with paralegal. My last class was on Monday, so finishing up classes and tests and exams and everything with that, especially with COVID, has been a little stressful. So, but we're all in this together, and we're going to get through this.
yeah, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful words. Absolutely, I agree with you entirely. Um, we need to really stick together and support one another as good as we can, for sure. So hence also this Zoom o'clock, it's really to connect one living room to the other and just introduce people to new interesting people that they don't know yet. And just, to have something different to watch while at home as well, and spread positivity. So coming to your, the Royal Central Block then, I personally, I have always been interested in knowing, how do you start a blog like that? How did you get into the Royal Central in the first place? Were they recruiting? And then also, how how time consuming is that for you, because you have your day job and you European correspondent, as you say, and you living in the US, you're not on the same timeline. So how does this all fit together for you?
Well, it started in 2012 just as a basic Twitter account that just tweeted out facts on monarchies. And it came into being after the Diamond Jubilee. And so they launched a website, and I'm sure no one thought that it would expand to where it is now. But now it's a big news site. We're getting millions of hits a month, which is fantastic. But we, being deputy editor now, there's a lot of late night work or early morning work for me. There's a lot of Google Translate. Because I don't know Dutch, I don't know Norwegian. I am trying to learn Swedish to try to help me with that. I do know a little Spanish, so that does help out. But I kind of got started on it. They were recruiting. They had put some things on Twitter. By that point, that was the end of 2015. So they had really grown at that point. And I had followed them through the birth of Prince George and Princess Charlotte. And I was going through a rough period, really needing something to distract myself because my mom was sick at the time. And so I thought, well, I'll apply give me something to kind of get my mind off of everything going on at home. And so I just signed up just as a blogger where I could contribute whenever I wanted, no requirements, whatever. And then a few months later, I was promoted to Europe correspondent, where I was talking about Luxembourg, Sweden, Spain.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Luxembourg rocks.
Luxembourg is great. I want to visit there someday. And then ended up at Europe editor and deputy editor. But it's definitely a balancing act because of the different time zone. And with working, for a while, I wasn't at the law office, so I would honestly stay up all night. So it'd be 6 a.m. so I could catch whatever was popping up in Europe. So now it's more of knowing what is coming up to plan ahead, kind of see what I need to be awake for, if it's a big birthday, or sadly, a tragedy that happens. So you just kind of have to figure out what's the most important. And then we have other Europe correspondents that are actually in Europe. So I can kind of, being editor, I can contact, we have one in Norway, one in Belgium, one in France. So it's I can kind of see if they can help out a little bit. But what people really don't know about Rural Central is it's not our actual day job. Like you mentioned, I work in a law office. All of us have day jobs, and this is what we do in our spare time. We don't get paid for anything. So it's just things that we enjoy. But it's great. We make new friends, meet great new people like you. It's been really great to experience it.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, because it's just, I was always wondering, how does it work and everything. And yes, it's important to say, these things that you provide these things because you want to spread beautiful stories out there that also inspire. Monarchies are nowadays really just mostly representative. If you don't look at UK, for example, who is a little bit more active in the governing system as well, but Luxembourg is mostly representative, and other countries as well. And I think by being a representative, the only thing you should really be doing is inspire people and make sure that that you give your people a kind of like a moral vacuum, something to hold on to dream, to feel like everything will be okay, give them that continuity, that solid foundation of family, which brings history, which you can't buy, and I think that's so important and needs to be respected. So I think it's beautiful. Your book is great. I read it from time to time, and it's always entertaining. So thank you for that. So that said, then, so when you say deputy editor, do you need to review everything from everyone, or is everyone having the liberty to also publish themselves?
When there's 4 editors. So there's the editor-in-chief, me, the deputy editor, the assistant editor, and the news editor. And so when anyone else writes their article, they submit it to us, and one of the 4 of us will go over it, edit it, and then add in the photos that we have, do our best to make sure the facts are right, make sure it's not something that it shouldn't be published, and then either schedule it or publish it, and then get it out on our social media accounts and promote it as best we can.
Okay, yeah, amazing. So talking about that, and with writing an article and everything, you went a step further than just writing an article and researching about it. What happened?
I interviewed you, and then we became friends, which was fantastic. And I went to Thailand with you and Professors Without Borders, which was fantastic. Really my first time out of the United States. It was great. It was a little bit of a culture shock because I'm so used to America, how things are, and I'm in a country where no one's speaking. If you walk down, no one's really speaking English, but I like that because I love different cultures. I love learning about different countries.
Mm.
So it was a really great learning opportunity that I'm really thankful for, because I was getting to actually be in a different country, see with my own eyes, how things are different, how what's important to them, what's not important to them, different things, like in Thailand, they don't shake hands, they greet with the bow, which now everybody's doing. And I when this whole COVID thing, I was like, see, Thailand was ahead of the times. They knew. But it was wonderful, and I even got to go into Korea for a little bit. It's just the airport, but it was a wonderful experience. We worked out a little bit, which I thought I might die in the process.
Great. You did amazing. You really kept up with the schedule, I must say, because, a lot of people always think, that when you travel like that, especially for charity and so on, that you don't really do much other than pictures. And I think it was really nice. I really wanted you to also see the back end of a nice picture. How much effort does it take to take a nice picture, which means the schedule is fully packed. There's not much sleeping. Need to keep fit in the same time, meeting all of these amazing people, do a lot of research, a lot of talks. I put you on a panel, like literally everything I threw at you, you did it, and you mastered it with such bravery and elegance. It was really amazing. Everyone really loved it. And I think that's also what is important, nowadays, because no one, people should just connect from all backgrounds if you can, because you learn so much from one another. I learned so much from you, and I met your father on the phone, and it was just, it was a really good time. And I really, really appreciate that you came, because it was your first time away from the US, the first time ever. So that makes it even more special for Professor Borders and for myself. So we are grateful for that.
And I'm
So
thankful for that you guys invited me. It was wonderful. It was great to be on the panel and get to talk about women and development and education, and how we can continue to help women prosper and get more education, and how they can get mentors and everything. So I'm really thankful for that.
of course, there will be many more panels coming, so I'm counting on you. And also, it's really important, and maybe the message as well of this video is really how we met, how we work together, how we're friends. It's really about women supporting women. No matter who you are, it doesn't hurt to just be nice and just take the time to get to know new people from all backgrounds. Like, I surely enjoy it truly each time. And I think our friendship has proven that it can be so enriching for you and for me. And people should not be scared of that, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, we've become friends, and we don't just talk about things like writing articles. I mean, I know I talk about our day, or your kids, or my dog, which are my kids. I mean, it's women supporting women, like you said, and friendship. And it's all started because we taking a chance and reaching out, and that's important.
Well, I appreciate it. So the thing is, now we're in times of COVID-19. Obviously, how did that affect Royal Central? Are you busier now? Do you create more copy? You take more time, you have more time for research, but then you say you're a lawyer as well and have all of these other things you need to deal with. So what's your everyday life looking like at the moment? And maybe because let me just check, have run out of time, within that perspective as well, maybe a goodbye message to everyone during Corona times, during lockdown time. What would you say to someone listening to this as a key takeaway?
Okay. Well, my typical day, I go to work dealing with the bankruptcy and things like that. But with Royal Central, there's not a whole lot of news stories going on because everyone is in lockdown and everything. So we're really doing more of history stories, or looking back at jewels and tiaras, which is fun because you get to do some research, because there's definitely time to do that. So that's been nice. And a message for everyone, stay strong. Their better days are definitely ahead. I know it's difficult. we're all struggling at times, but we will get through this. We will defeat this, and we are all in this together.
That's beautiful. I agree with you. So, from my living room to yours, I miss you, dear, my
Miss
dear
you too.
friend. And then we keep in touch. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.